There's still a lot more action to come and still a lot more coming to you on Access TV over the next few weeks. On March 21, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma for Legacy Fighting Championship 29. March 28, we're back in Vegas. Lion Fight 14, Muay Thai action featuring Chris Cyborg Santos for a World Championship. Legacy back in Albuquerque on April 4. And then we're heading to Cheyenne for RFA 14 on April 11. All coming your way on your home for MMA and Muay Thai, Access TV. Well, this one should be a ripper. It's time for Chris Heatherly and Chidi Njokuani.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the blue corner, Chris "Stump" Heatherly.
One of the more curious nicknames in mixed martial arts, Stump. Chris Heatherly. Why do they call him Stump? Well, he used to weigh 265 pounds, was 245 when he was playing football, and here he is fighting at 170, and they say he looks like a stump.
Yeah, Barb Honchuk let me know that she was teammates with the Stump and said that his real name in the gym, his nickname, is the Chubby Bunny.
He thinks he's going to be sparring Barb Honchuk a little bit harder after that little nugget got out to the public arena. Chris Heatherly, who defeated Dakota Cochran in October, has won his last two. His only loss back in August was a rear naked show, but he's won 43% of wins by submission. A no-gi purple belt. He trains at Burger MMA and Rios Thai Boxing in Cahokia, Illinois. He knows that Njokuani's strength is in the stand-up. He knows he's going to try and get Chidi on his back and sub him out. Heatherly, who started wrestling when he was 4 years old, won the Fargo Nationals in Greco, has worked on being more patient on his feet. For a wrestler, he says, I've got decent stand-up, but my problem's always been I've tended to rush my striking. Enter the Stump.
Please welcome his opponent fighting out of the red corner, Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani.
Chidi Njokuani, who comes off a first-round TKO win over Levon Maynard in Guatemala in August. 80% of wins by knockout for Chidi. Only one decision in 14 pro fights. And the loss there to Jeremy Kimball back in March of last year. Younger brother, of course, of UFC lightweight Anthony Njokuani, trains Muay Thai under one kick Nick Longren, who's in his corner here tonight. Let's take a close look at the man they call Chidi Bang Bang.
Yeah, really don't need to make any mistake about this guy. He's got great Muay Thai skills, great striking, a lot of reach, very quick release on his hands. And says he's been working a lot on his wrestling. Talked to Nick Longren a little bit about his training and said he has worked extensively on his wrestling with a lot of very good wrestlers. He's ready for this fight.
Tell the tape for what should be a banger. 7-1 Heatherly, 10-4 Njokuani. Heatherly 1 year the elder. The Stump gives up a massive height differential, and look at the reach. 10.5 inches in the arms to Chidi. 6.5 inches in the legs to Chidi Bang Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the RFA welterweight division and brought to you by New Breed Nutrition. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5'8", weighing in at 169.8 pounds, holding a professional record of 7 wins, 1 loss. Training out of Burger MMA and Rios Thai Boxing from Cahokia, Illinois, Chris "Stump" Heatherly. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, stands 6'4", weighed in at 172.8 pounds, holding a professional record of 10 wins, 4 losses, training out of One Kicks Gym, and Sergio Pena Jiu-Jitsu, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani. Your referee in charge of the action is Bobby Walbacher.
Chris. All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the back. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Any questions from you, Chris? Any questions from you, Chidi? Touch him up. Good luck.
Bobby Walbacher, the final instructions. Chidi Njokuani towering over the stump. Chris Heatherly.
Need a step ladder for that face-off.
Njokuani comes in the favorite, minus 190. The comeback on
Chris,
Heatherly at plus 150.
Chidi, you ready? Let's get after it.
Heatherly needs to cover the gap quick.
Look for the quick switch up round kicks here. The long-reaching punches on Chidi Njokuani. He can cut off the cage easily, slips the jab through early. Inside leg kick from Heatherly. Overhand right from Heatherly, trying to sink a low single.
You know, it was a good lead into it. Good punch. Got to hold the leg, wasn't able to keep it.
Fakes and feints from Chidi Njokuani. Resets himself now. Fakes the jab.
So far, good job parrying by Heatherly.
Heatherly looked to go down, then went up and dropped down to a double leg. Couldn't execute the takedown, switches to a single.
Nice.
Gets Chidi on his back, which is where he wants him back.
Good change up from the double to the single and then the dump. Got to pass that guard.
Chidi doing all he can to not allow Heatherly to posture up here and work the ground and pound.
So far, what we've seen out of the referees here in Nebraska, they will let them work on the ground.
Half guard now for the stump. Drops an elbow to the hairline.
He's looking for a choke already. He's wanting to slip. Oh, my goodness. Steve Berger said if this guy gets on top, it could be over quick. Very strong, very good wrestler.
And you hear the corner of Chris saying, take your time, smash him down first, and then let's go for the sub.
This is where those long fighters have problems, half guard and cross-sides positions with the stocky wrestlers on top of him. He's hunting a key lock here already. Look at this.
Submission on the far arm here, attempt from Heatherly.
This is where you change it up. His left hand should slide up toward his elbow, and then he can make it an elbow lock.
43% of wins in his career for Chris Heatherly.
Njokuani's arm was so long he couldn't finish that key lock. Had trouble just reaching out to his wrist.
And Heatherly continue a run of upsets, having just defeated Dakota Cochran in October. And it would be considered an upset to defeat Chidi Njokuani here tonight.
Got a hold of his own shorts, which is legal. Can't grab your opponent's shorts, but you can grab your own. Smart by Njokuani.
Elbow top of the ear from Heatherly. Njokuani still locking down that right leg, so Heatherly can't pass. What does Njokuani do here, Pat?
Well, he's got to get his guard back at least to be able to get to work. There, he's trying to move his hips.
Heatherly takes the back. Plenty of time to try and find a sub here for the stump. 2 minutes remaining.
He's held onto that choke for too long. Should have just got position back.
Njokuani now, top position. Chance to land some elbows.
Look at him scooting his hips in. He tried to lift and was too far out on the leg.
Second bite of the cherry there for Heatherly. Njokuani not going down this time. Double leg. Njokuani illegally elbows the spine. He apologizes here, but Heatherly felt the brunt of that one. It was a hard shot too.
Couldn't tell if it was a spine or a shoulder blade. Yeah, it's pretty close to the spine, ribs.
Heavily in pain, he just flopped to the canvas after the illegal strike. Will he be okay to go on here? Heatherly doesn't look in a good way, Pat.
That could have broken some ribs, definitely. I don't know whether it was necessarily illegal. It looked like it hit on the ribs just off to the side. Yeah, it's pretty close, though. That's borderline.
Just looking at heavily in the hands of the doctor here. He made an attempt to put his arms up and couldn't do so. Heatherly looks in a very bad way here. This one may be over. I think the doctor's called it off.
I'll be right back. Right. I understand. We're going to see if he can continue. So just hang tight here for me for a few more minutes, and I'll be back and let you know, okay?
No, they haven't called it off yet, but Heatherly in a very bad way. Now, he would get 5 minutes to recover here, Pat.
Well, I think from the illegal blow, you have to give him time. But if it's deemed an illegal blow in Nebraska, I need to ask our athletic commissioner, if it's an illegal blow, does Njokuani lose?
Fully chambered elbow with all the power
yeah,
coming
that's
down.
spine. That's close enough to the spine to be deemed illegal, certainly.
And you can see the grimace as soon as it hit. Heatherly still in pain here. Very unfortunate events.
Yeah, and Heatherly was looking good in this fight. Fighting a smart fight. Doing his thing.
Let us know your thoughts, folks. Use the hashtag RFA13 on Twitter
Now it's your decision
at Access TV Fights.
whether you want to call that a disqualification or not.
Correct. I don't know if he may still continue.
Okay. If he doesn't,
Right.
I mean, basically, if you think it was an intentional foul, it's a disqualification. If you feel that it was just he swung it and that's where it landed on accident, then it's a no contest.
Right, right.
So think about what you want to do with that.
A simple explanation there. It'll be up to the referee to decide here, Pat.
The gentleman in the red shirt, that's Brian Dunn. He is the head commissioner for the state of Nebraska. Former training partner of Jeremy Horn for a long time. Had a lot of fights. Just said it's a DQ if it's deemed an illegal blow. And Nebraska, one of those states, Michael, that's doing the right thing with its athletic commission. All these guys that are in here that are running this commission have been involved in mixed martial arts.
We saw a moment ago they tried to get Heatherly up and he just couldn't get to his feet, couldn't even lift his back off the canvas. Grim scenes here for Chris Heatherly.
He's got about another minute left.
The 5 minutes of allocated recovery time is almost over. They're going to try and get him up again here. But no.
I think he's got broken ribs.
This one will be over, and it will be for the referee to determine if the strike was deliberate or not.
What's that? It's in his back. He said first. He said his legs.
Sven Bean of RFA talking to the referee and the doctor here.
Could have knocked some vertebrae out of position. A lot of things could have happened there with that strike.
If you want to see elbow strikes that are legal, folks, do join us in 2 weeks in Las Vegas from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Lion Fight Muay Thai returns. Chris Cyborg fighting there for a world title against Jorin Bars of the Netherlands. A week before that, we're going to be for Legacy 29 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then Legacy April 4 from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And RFA from Cheyenne on April 11. Legacy 29 is going to be a stacked card indeed. Paul Bontello on that one. The bad boy Leonard Garcia on that one. And in Albuquerque, I believe we'll be seeing Holly Holm fighting for the championship.
Good stuff.
We've got some stacked cards coming your way here on Access TV. Both mixed martial arts and Muay Thai.
I think they need to get a board out for Heatherly.
Also a reminder, folks, you can predict the outcome of tonight's fights. Play along with us on the Access Fights app for iPad and iPhone. And The referee has officially waved this one off. Heatherly is still in pain. They are right. They're going to need a stretcher to get him out of here, Pat.
Yeah. And I don't think that was intentional by Njokuani at all. I think he was just throwing an elbow, not paying attention. Wanted to get this guy off his legs. Obviously showing good sportsmanship, feels bad about it.
Folks, what are your thoughts? Let us know on Twitter at Access TV Fights, at Chamello Voice, at Pat Miletich. We want to know your thoughts. Is this one a no contest or a disqualification in your book?
Say a no contest. I don't know if I've ever had it. Dude.
Where is the board?
I tell you what, Pat, it's been a long, long time since I've seen a fighter stay down on the canvas for this long.
Yeah, no, it's not good when you see this, especially anything that's related to spinal stuff. Scary stuff. Moving his legs and his arms, though, so that's good.
They are bringing a stretcher into the cage here to carry out Chris Heatherly. Folks, if you just joined us and you're wondering what's going on, it was a great fight between Heatherly and Njokuani. Heatherly was doing particularly well. Njokuani threw an illegal elbow, well, it landed illegally on the spine at full brunt, fully chambered downward elbow on the spine of Heatherly. It wasn't intentional, and Heatherly has not recovered since. He has been down on the canvas, and it must be for about 7-8 minutes now, Pat.
Been a while. Getting ready to immobilize him maybe with his neck and strap him down.
He's clutching his eyes, still in pain. He is speaking to the doctor, though, Heatherly. We will try and get some news backstage as to what injuries exactly Heatherly has sustained here. A very unfortunate event in what was shaping up to be a fantastic contest. Still Heatherly not being moved here. They've actually gotten another brace for him. The Cornhuskers have turned out in force tonight at the Pershing Center here in Lincoln, Nebraska, where it's chilly outside. As we take a look at the strike again here, nice angle onto the spine, fully chambered downward elbow.
Yeah, right where the ribs insert into the spine. Could have caused rib damage, spine damage, both.
Minus 2 degrees Celsius outside at the moment here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
What would that be Fahrenheit?
It must be around, what, 28 degrees?
28,
around
26.
There.